Hey there, guys. So today's lesson slash video is going to be a demo. So I found a lesson online, another channel, and actually a website, and I'm following along and doing that lesson so we can learn if it's worth doing and see some of the techniques live via video versus just a website with word instructions. So we'll give it a go. You can see I've got it started in the background. It's currently drying out. I think that's it. Beyond the fact, I think I've already started the video that's edited this way, but I've gone to a one camera situation here where I'll zoom in post-production. Again, like I asked before, when people start watching the channel, if they're like, oh my God, that was awful, then let me know and I'll go back to the split screen. But it felt like the split screen was very difficult to keep your attention on, and it's frankly a PIA to edit. So let's get to it. Okay, so we're doing a demo today. You can actually find this demo online. I'm not trying to hide any of that. Step one, wet both sides of the paper. And this is to equalize everything and to help the paper lay flat on your desk. The technique I'm trying to see if it works without having to pre-stretch everything. So it's already curling up, that's fine, that's what we'd expect. And this layer should push it back down. And it allows us more time to paint. Okay, so that's that start. And now I've already got a, let's make sure this is focused. I've already got a pre-made wash here that I'm going to pull out into the palette and then lighten it up with some water. Right. And I'm just going to pull this right down the page. Just adding in some color. Trying not to just wash right over the boat. Okay. And now as we go down the page, I'm going to be adding more pigment into this wash. Right. Gotta love it when you don't make enough in the first place. Oh well. Won't quite match. That'll be alright. There we go. As I'm getting down here towards the end, I'm going to add some lavender. Whoops, that's a little too much. There we go. So we're adding in some of the reflection from the sky in here. Okay, so now we're doing back into the sky. We're taking some of our lavender along with some cobalt blue here, right? And I just have a touch of Mayan Blue Genuine here, just to add a little something. A little water, keeping the pigment rather high, right? Everything's still wet. Okay, now
Scott.
alright, so I feel like I want to get this wetter and blend it a little more. But I don't want to get rid of all of this, right? Then bring the same idea down into the reflection here. Big paint strokes down near the bottom. Less so up by the boat. Feels like I want to get a little more sky in here, right? Okay. Good, I'm going to work this a little more. Some of it's too distinctly brush strokes, so I'm going to let it start to fade in. Okay. All right, and now that I'm here, less water, a little more pigment, just gonna run the shadows in the boat. Just start giving the boat some definition. Okay. Leave some of it at the end. Great. Okay, so now I've taken our blue that we already had mixed and I put some neutral or gray into this. I'm just going to pull some, I've got a larger paintbrush here. And I just want to pull some large, strong ripples across the page, right? Again, getting thinner as we go up a little bit, just to really have this okay. Good. Okay, so, we're back. Now we're going to do the tree line that's in behind. If you can see, there's a very faint horizon line there. So taking this color we already have, right? So because we want to stay in the same family. This is something I learned from acrylic painting as well, right? If you want everything to feel, if you will, like it's in the same family. Whoops, that's not what I want. A little of it's not bad, but I want something that's more of an earthy tone. Right? Probably a little more earth to that. And this you want to be strong. Let's just give a test. Yeah, it's not as strong as I want it to be yet. Let's grab some burnt sienna and put that in there too, just to really strengthen it up. I'm going to add a little neutral tint just to darken it down a little. There we go. So I'm going to bring this along the back or the bottom of the. Make sure to keep my brush nice and loaded. Watch this carefully. Catch the edge. Right? Let it define the back of the boat here. And make sure the line is in the same spot. Okay. And now, to really let it be a little rough, I just want to run by this a couple of times so it's not all like right. I have to move water out of the way. And there's windows in here. Right? And we would see a little of that edge. And now that I've added that in, I can get just a little bit more definition. Right? Now I'm okay darkening it and getting some more depth against the bottom. Right, this might be a little much, so we'll pick some of this up. Okay. Good. Okay, so we're back. Now it's time to play a little with the boat. So we take the same wash that we have, and I'm going to take some cobalt blue, right? Push that into it. Mix it to the point where I'm happy. Not too wet, but... And I'm bringing the edge or the bow of the boat out. Right? Now take the same brush and lighten it down. Just let it fade. Now I'm going to dry some of this up. A little too much water. I'm not going to mess with that anymore. If I do, it's just going to get worse. Okay, so now I'm going to connect the shadow. So I'm taking some other cooler colors, mixing that in here, right? So it's still connected in ways to the same color I had. And I'm going to turn this so I can actually reach it. So I'm bringing this across. And just lightening it up as it hits some of the ripples out here. You're not trying to get everything, right? And now that you have that, get a good strong color. Just run it along the bottom of the boat. I don't know what's going on right here with this separating out, so let's make sure we have something in there. Just trying to get a good strong tip of my brush and separate out these two. That doesn't seem like it's dry enough, so I need to find a little drier paint. Okay. Put some water in so I can blend a little bit, because that feels a little strong and a weird color. That's okay. Right? And now I can take this, as this dries a little bit more, I'm just loading my brush gently. I'm just adding some ripples in here. Right? And I'll keep doing that as it dries. Okay. Okay, so everything's still a little wet. I'm going to go into some really thick paint, right? Almost straight out of the container, or straight out of the palette. Not mixed in with very much water. Okay, run that back over here so we can keep that stronger. Right, a little too wet because I want to make a line that's defining the boat. Just give it some definition. Okay. Okay. I'm going to prepare the paint beforehand. So I'm taking not much, just a little. There we go. I want something pretty dark because I'm going to do the mast. So I've got a rigger brush, right? And practicing over here. Look what I might be able to get. Okay. And I'm going to turn my page. I'm just going to bring my mask up and connect. Right. And run while everything's still wet. Run the other way as well. Okay. Here. All right, so keeping this nice and strong, but very lightly loaded, right? Now I get to play with some of the rigging, and I'm just really lightly putting this in. It's in places, just letting it sort of skip over, right? So just really lightly. I feel like that should be a little longer. And this needs a horizontal of some nature. Great. So it bled out a little bit on me here, but so let this piece right, so we really catch some of that way out there. And I can sharpen this a little bit to, actually wrong brush, let's go back to the rounded tip. Make sure I've got, I'm going to test for a minute. Just running. Great. And I'm looking at this, and I feel like if I do any more, it might be worse. So I think I'm going to leave it. So let's make sure that's in the screen completely. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to leave that, and yeah. Great, I'm back. Gosh, I still have my tea. Yes, it's just tea. So I'll make sure to zoom in a little bit on the video, but you can also see here. So yeah, is that the best work I've ever done? Probably not, but was it worth doing? Totally. Was it simple? Yes. Was it quick? Yes. Was it worthwhile? Absolutely. So one of the things that I did here that was different was I wet the back and the front and put the page down on my board, which it being wet on both sides adhered it rather flat. And as you can see, I was applying pretty heavy washes and no real warpage. A little bit up on the edge as it's starting to dry, but that's fine. That's pretty normal. Nothing else is really warping poorly or badly. So yeah, that was a great thing. Just being able to use some wet on wet technique and really enjoy it. I think what I found was my largest brush is a 12, I believe. Yes. This isn't it. It's somewhere around here, but I'm not sure where. But I have one. There we go. Right. And I think I could use a bigger brush for some of these strokes, because if I go for the side of the brush, I don't carry the paint. So I really want to go in this direction, and this brush is just too small to really get this to widen and fatten out down here at the bottom. But anyways, I think it was well worth it. I recommend it. Give it a couple of goes, because I'm going to come back and do it again at some point, and I'll show that one. Every painting's different, so great. Well, thanks again. Any comments, make sure to let me know. Any suggestions, make sure to let me know that too. And thanks for watching. We'll see you again the next time.